I was honored to be able to sit with my colleagues in the press corps in a seat designated for new media, and was able to ask a question, a couple questions. I asked about tariffs, and then I was able to ask a question on behalf of Katie Reeves, who's from Wisconsin, who will be with us shortly. But first, I want to show you my asking Caroline Levitt the question that we got, that I got from Katie, who I asked her what she would ask if she were in the briefing room today. And here's Katie's question.
Of our community members, Katie Reeves is a school teacher in Wisconsin. She's taught K through 8 in public, independent, private, and private schools. And here's what she wanted me to ask you. She says, I see the elimination of the Department of Education as an excellent first step in the improvement of our school system. Do you see any further roles the federal government can take beyond this, possibly in promoting the expansion of voucher programs or reducing the influence that teachers' unions hold over our schools?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Katie for her service to our country and our nation's children. Being a teacher is the most noble profession that we believe one can have. And the president said in his remarks when he signed the executive order to dismantle the Department of Education that he loves our teachers. And in part, this order is to empower our teachers to have greater decision making in the classroom. Nobody knows our nation's children and our students better than our teachers who are with them every single day. As for the federal government's role, to get to the heart of Katie's question, the president has made it clear to Linda McMahon that we need to find other places within our federal government for critical programs regarding education. Pell Grants, Title IX, lawsuits, etc., civil rights lawsuits, all of that are critical functions, special needs programs, nutrition programs. But there are other places throughout the federal bureaucracy where those things can happen and work. The Department of Education has been a very bloated bureaucracy. We spent trillions of dollars on this department, and for what? Our children are worse off as far as education goes today than they were when this department originated, and that's very concerning to the president. So,
two issues she cited are those of priorities for the president: school education choice, vouchers, and diminishing the role of teachers unions.
The president is very supportive of both of those things, particularly when it comes to school choice. He has said that school choice is the civil rights issue of our time, and he wants every child, regardless of zip code, socioeconomic status, how much money their parents have, to be able to go to the school of their choosing that best suits their educational needs. And he is going to empower state and local leaders to make those decisions on behalf of our nation's children. Thanks for being here, Mark.
So Katie Reeves joins us now from Wisconsin. Katie has been a part of our community for a long time. And when I was thinking whose idea for a question would I want to solicit, Katie came top of mind, and she used to live in Silicon Valley, and her explanations of why she was a Trump voter in 2024, I think, were amongst the clearest indications of President Trump's support, and why so many people supported him, even as many people in my business said, well, of course, Trump can't win. Katie, thank you for joining. My allergy-ridden voice may not have delivered your question as clearly as I would have liked, but just tell us about what it was like to have your question asked and what kind of reaction you've gotten today.
Well, I was pretty astounded to get your email asking for the question. In fact, my husband yelled from the other part of the house saying, "Did someone die? What are you yelling about?" Because I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." So that was pretty amazing. And it was pretty amazing to listen to it being read and answered. And I thought she did an outstanding job answering a question that she didn't know she was getting. And before she even finished answering, I started getting texts on my phone from people that happened to be listening to it live that knew me to say, "Was that you? Is that you that was referenced there?" So that was pretty amazing.
I'm so grateful to you again for being part of the community and for providing the question. And I'm just wondering what you think of the idea of people from the two-way community being able to ask questions at a briefing like that. How do you think that changes things if it were a regular feature? What do you think how does it differ from the question, say, a Washington reporter might ask?
I think in some ways it could be, that's very targeted at things that I'm very interested in. So I think you can really target something real specific that you want. I think that, obviously reporters ask questions that I would never think to ask because I don't know what to ask about tariffs or things like that. In fact, that's the first thing, when I was thinking about what I would ask, it's like, well, tariffs are all over the news, but I don't know enough about that to ask something intelligent. So I had to go with something that was really important to me and something that I'm knowledgeable about. So I think that that's important. I think it would be really interesting to hear what other people would have to ask and what their answers would be, because it's, it's things that the American people are most interested in.